The finals of the Best Super Juniors are right around the corner. What exciting Best Super Juniors finals. We have the New Japan debut of Jon Moxley. We have the finals of Shingo Takagi, Will Ospreay, Roshi Tanahashi's big return as he's taking on Jay White. And I mean, that's a hell of a match right there. And that's like the 6th match on the card. As it is a 8-match card. And we'll start off with the first match on the card. It is a 6-man tag. Showto Yuma, Titan, and Dragon Lee taking on Ren Narita, Jonathan Gresham, and Bandito. What? I mean, that's a hell of an opener. That's a hell of a 6-man right there. As what a team of Showto Yuma, Titan, and Dragon Lee. The team I didn't know I needed until right now. As obviously this is a bit. You see this match in the next match, specifically more of the next match, because this is kind of like the Young Lions, or this is kind of like a just 6-man showcase of the Best Super Juniors, except for Showto Yumano's in there. And, this, obviously, you could say maybe replacing someone. I don't know who he would replace, because it's not like Taka would fit in there, so it's just kind of like he's there. He's just a young lion. Can't wait to see how Showto Yumano and Ren Narita do as far as their interactions between each other. Dragon Lee and Bandito, holy fuck if they touch each other, which I'm assuming they will at one point. And it's going to be a fun little match. As far as who's going to win, I'll go with the Showto Yuma, Titan, and Dragon Lee team. I think Jonathan Gresham's going to take the fall, or Ren Narita, either or. And now it's either going to have, Gresham take the fall, or Ren Narita's going to get a win over Showto Yuma to at least be like, hey, he's won. Look at him. Look at Ren Narita getting a win. Type of thing. Being a nice big moment for him there at Sumo Hall. As, that's another thing. Didn't really talk about Sumo Hall. It being at Sumo Hall, too, should be a little added jolt to the crowd. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how the crowd interacts. It's going to be crazy. As the next 6-man tag, Sho and Yo and Raisuke Taguchi taking on Robbie Eagles, El Phantasmo, and Taiji Shimori. So a bit of a chaos Bullet Club 6-man tag here, as gonna be interesting to see how Eagles and Phantasmo and Taiji Shimori work as a team now, going into a 6-man tag. As also too, Showto Yuma, or Sho and Yo, about to say Showto Yuma, as Sho and Yo taking on El Phantasmo and Robbie Eagles, how they interact with each other, since that's probably going to be a junior tag match down the line for sure. One would assume and predict. As far as who's going to win, it's a bit of a toss-up. Really, as it's the end of the Best Super Juniors, really nobody really needs like a win to kind of carry over momentum going into the rest of the year. Obviously, because like it's going to be Dominion, then you have Kazuna Road, and then it's just the G1. So it's kind of, as far as like the big shit happening within the next 2 months or so. So really, it's kind of a bit of almost a farewell. Obviously, the Kazuna Road will kind of be their last kind of tour for a while, as far as in the main focus until the G1 happens. But I'll go with the Bullet Club team getting the win at Robbie Eagles, El Phantasmo, and Taiji Shimori. As the next match, 10-man tag, a little Lion Mark / Chaos team versus Bullet Club. As Tiger Mask 4, Jushin Thunder Liger, Yoshihashi, Toru Yano, and Tomohiro Ishii taking on Doki, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Zack Sabre Jr., Minoru Suzuki, and Tai Chi. So now we get to see Doki interacting with the rest of Suzuki Gun here in a big 10-man tag. And, it's going to be nice to see how, obviously, as far as interactions goes, Ishii and Tai Chi, they have their open-weight title match at Dominion. And, really, Liger and Suzuki, they've had their interactions now leading up to the past couple of months. It's going to be, probably those are going to be the two main stories. I'm assuming, we'll maybe see like a Tiger Mask 4 Doki finish, or a Liger Doki finish, or, somebody like that, kind of showcase the juniors. But we could see, somebody, either Tai Chi or Ishii getting a win over one another before their never open weight title match. Could see that, but I'll go with the Chaos / Old Guard Line Mark team getting the win there. As we have the 8-man tag here as the 4th match on the card. Toa Hanare, Tomoaki Hanma, Togi Makabe, and Kota Ibushi taking on Bushi, Sanada, Evil, and Tetsuya Naito. Obviously, Ibushi and Naito, they're in a Continental title rematch on the line here, or in the future rather, building up to that at Dominion. So that's the interactions between those two. Hanma and Makabe with and a Sonata Evil interactions could be very interesting to see. Obviously, as two guys that are two teams rather that are going to be usually a part of the IWGP Tag Team Title scene. And then Hanma or Hanare and Ibushi rather. Really no prior interactions against each other, so really those guys are just thrown together into this match here. As far as who is going to win, I don't think Ibushi and Naito are going to take the fall. That match is a little too big to kind of have one of these guys carry momentum just from an 8-man tag. So we could see either Makabe, and I'll assume Hanma or Hanare is going to take the fall in this match. So I'll go with an Evil Sonata, maybe an STO. Everything is evil, or even just a Magic Killer combo and Hanare getting the finish for him, getting the win for the LIJ team. As the next match, tag team match, Rocky Romero and Kazuchika Okada versus Marty Scurll and Brody King. What a huge match for Rocky Romero here, as teaming up with Okada. I can't remember the last time he's just been like the tag team partner for Okada. It's been a long, long time. It may have not even happened. I didn't look this up before, and I should have, though. That is quite the big-time tag team partner to have. As, obviously, Brody King, throughout this Best Super Juniors, the past, 15 days going into this finals, he's been on quite the tear on the undercard tag matches. He's doing a lot of crazy shit that Brody King has tended to do, and as far as his U.S. indie run the past year and a half now. And really, obviously, seeing a big dude like him move the way he does, he was bound to be a big star. At least not a big star, to say. At least somebody who's over in Japan. And him and Scurll are a fun team to have. Obviously, they'll probably never be like a major team since, one's a heavyweight, one's a junior. But it's moments like these and matches like these where it's going to be good for them. Heavyweight and a junior guy teaming against a heavyweight and a junior guy. I'm going to love the interactions between Okada and Brody King, if there are any. Obviously, Marty Scurll and Okada, they fought before at All In, and it was, an okay match. It was about as good as it was going to be. But, Rocky and Marty Scurll, though, on the other hand, a fun match on paper between those two as far as the interactions between the two. I'm looking forward to seeing. Probably as far as the undercard matches are concerned, this is the one I'm most looking forward to the most. As far as who's going to win, however, it's really up to more debate. I'm assuming Okada's going to win. Just, he's the biggest name on this tag match. You would assume he'd get the win, but you could see a Marty Scurll win over Rocky Romero, or a Brody King win over Rocky Romero. I'll go with the Okada-Romero team getting the win, though. Wouldn't be too surprised, though, if the Brody King-Marty Scurll team get the win. There as the next match, Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Jay White. Hiroshi Tanahashi's, return match, if you will, that's been hyped up to be. Tanahashi, of course, and Jay White, no strangers to each other. Shocking the world. Jay White did a mere couple of months ago. It almost seems like a lifetime ago that has happened, but here he is getting another match here against Hiroshi Tanahashi. Obviously, the two guys in this match here, really, as far as who can win, you would assume they would be like the next in line for the heavyweight title, but obviously now with the G1 coming up after Dominion's kind of be like, there's going to be nobody getting a title shot anytime soon. Maybe a Kazuna Road, maybe like someone like maybe Will Ospreay or something, if for some odd reason they just give him like a junior versus heavyweight title match at the Kazuna Road show, but that'd be highly, highly unlikely. Would not predict that. But that's just something they could do in the future. But for this, obviously you would assume Tanahashi gets the win here at Sumo Hall in front of the, jam-packed for his build return to New Japan. Jay White, it depends on what they do with Jon Moxley going forward, because I think a lot of you see a lot of memes on Twitter, kind of the new, maybe a potential guy that can kind of get away from what Jay White has been doing for the past year and a half. It could be, Jon Moxley, but I don't think they're going to go in that direction. I think Jon's mainly going to be there for just a type of Cody Rhodes type run. And, we'll talk about Jon here in a bit. I'll just say Roshi actually gets to talk about our co-main event here, as we have the IWGP United States Championship title matchup as Juice Robinson versus the debuting Jon Moxley in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So Jon is, I think he's going to have a Cody Rhodes type of role for New Japan. And what I mean by that is a guy who's obviously, his style, before he was signed, he didn't really go to Japan. I don't think he even did like a big Japan tour and was in CZW or anything like that. The biggest thing he kind of did that was closest to like a Japan run was to work for Dragon Gate USA. And he would wrestle, mainly his best match there was him and Bryan Danielson, which was really, really good. Obviously, no surprise there, as he had matches like BB Hawk, he had matches with Tozawa, Naruki Doi. I don't think he had a match with Shingo, though. I would have remembered that if going into that, so I don't think that happened, but mainly that. And they were mainly like gimmick matches, like no disqualification or something like that. So really, his style, obviously when he left WWE, I figured he would just stay in America. Didn't think he'd have a Japan run or anything like that. So this is a bit shocking that he's here. Just as far as, what's his style going to be? Is he going to change it up? Is he going to do a lot more, pro wrestling stuff? Is he going to keep... Because obviously the Nigel Lariat, the rebound Lariat he does after Nigel McGuinness, that will get a nice pop from the crowd. I think a lot of people are just going to see him as just ex-WWE guy. So, I mean, I'm sure that'd be fine. It's worked well in the past. The thing with comparing him to Cody Rhodes is just those styles, they're much better. Those wrestlers, specifically Jon Moxley and Cody Rhodes, they're better in America doing their thing than coming here to Japan and doing their style. Now, I think Jon is got a higher ceiling than what Cody Rhodes did, because I think he's a better in-ring competitor than Cody is, so there's that. And as far as for him, he'll stay in the U.S. scene. He won't be like in the G1 this next month. He's not going to be in the G1. There's just, especially with the AEW thing going on, it wouldn't see that, especially him debuting to just right here on this show. It'd be quite awkward to see him, but there's a lot of spots to be filled for this G1. It's bigger and bigger every year, it seems like. So we could see it, even as a big Jon Moxley fan that I am. Wouldn't really want to see that. I think here, I'm assuming he's going to beat Juice Robinson here. Which, speaking of, those two against each other, they've wrestled one time. It was in a NXT dark match for NXT TV for NXT 16 back in 2012. Of course, those two, they were in FCW together. They had a tag match against each other. And mainly other than that, they had tag matches against each other. But that was the only one-on-one match they had, and it was at Full Sail. Obviously, it's going to be a lot more different than this match here. It's almost 7 years in the past. Those two have grown so much. Specifically, Juice Robinson, a.k.a. CJ Parker back then. He has grown tremendously. I think, obviously, those two, the promos these guys could have kind of leading up to this, and they didn't really get that. Because, Jon being the surprising vignette guy, definitely did not see him being that as well. That completely shocked me. Did not think he would, he was the guy. I just didn't think it. You probably should have put 2 and 2 together. It's let's say he's the latest releasee, if you will, and makes sense. He's a free agent, so it made sense. Just didn't really put it together. For him, with Jon and Juice Robinson here, I think it's going to be a great co-main event to the main event, because it's going to be completely different than what that main event's going to be. That main event's going to be insane, off the charts, with what they've been doing for the past month now and the build, and it's really exciting. For here, it's kind of going to be, obviously the focus is going to be on Jon. What Jon's going to do for how the crowd's going to respond, what's he going to do, if he's going to change up anything, he's going to just wrestle kind of the same way he's always wrestled. It's going to be very interesting, and because I think his greatest attribute is that his promos are definitely his strength. Not that he's not a bad worker. It's just that's what I love about Jon Moxley. His promos have always been, when he's Jon Moxley, when he's doing his kind of creepy Jon Moxley character that he's done before the WWE run, and kind of in FCW too, he did a good bit of that. I thought that was his best, like, WWE work was in FCW, funny enough, was before he was even on the main roster or anything. But here in New Japan, it's gonna be something very new to him, so I think he's gonna be very excited about that. The possibilities of a new, fresh canvas to really do whatever he wants. I think that idea and that kind of philosophy to just be a brand new character, if he wants to be, I highly doubt that. I'm assuming he's going to keep to what he's done in the past, and got to keep to his thing. He's still doing that, double arm DDT, the dirty deeds. So be interesting if he switches back to the Moxley cutter, which I kind of would doubt. I don't think he'll bring that back, but it could be fun to see. But as far as, obviously, for Juice, he's had better years in the past, so here to lose, because like last year, he wins the IWGP United States title from Jay White, has a pretty god-awful G1 run, and to bounce back into 2019, he's going to drop this belt here before the G1. Now he could kind of do the exact opposite of last year. He's dropping the belt, then he's going to have a great G1, hopefully finish with 10 points, maybe 8, but, have at least a positive record. That's for the most part. And have a good, kind of where that's the comeback. Instead of winning and then dropping off and having a piss-poor G1, he can now win and have a better G1 for him. So that'd be nice to see. I think this is going to elevate both guys going forward. Should be a fun atmosphere, that's to say. At least as far as the match goes, really nothing too particular as far as, I'm assuming it's going to be good. They've two guys I've enjoyed over the past couple of years now, so it's destined to be at least a good match. Just interesting to see how Jon does. That's really going to be the main focus. It's going to be, all eyes are going to be on Jon Moxley. As the main event, Shingo Takagi, Will Ospreay, winners of Block A and B, battling out to see who wins this Best Super Junior, the 26th Best Super Junior here in 2019. What a fucking main event. What a finals. Shingo, the man who's perfection run, and now we have Will Ospreay, a former winner, and now could be a guy who could be a 2-time winner, and to slay the dragon, in so many words. I'm gonna go with Shingo. I'm a ride or die with Shingo, man. We've got a predicted he be here, and I'm gonna predict he wins it here. What a run that would be for Shingo. He's been just the Iron Man since he's really debuted in the past November. He's been a major focus on a lot of the tours besides the New Japan Cup. He could be a guy, both these guys. So, speaking of, obviously, Will's run here in the Best Super Junior has been one of the best runs of all time. And both these guys could potentially, I'm assuming Will Ospreay is going to be in the G1, but Shingo could possibly be in the G1. He's going to be just quite the tour he's going to have just in these past 2 months. 3 months, 4 months, yeah, hell, it started in May, this fucking Best Super Juniors, and it's gonna work here in June, and then July, we're gonna go to the G1 and ends in August. Yeah, that's gonna be quite the summer-packed tours for him. He's gonna be, and he's gonna be a guy, right now, just right now, it's June, we're talking about, future rest of the year, here at the end of 2019. Right now, like, Kenta Miyahara and Will Ospreay, it's 1 and 2. Like, he's right there, and he's just done this Best Super Juniors run. Incredible stuff he's had. It would be, cool to see him be rewarded for such a good run he's had, but with Shingo now, they have a chance to have something really special, and have a rematch to the Dragon Lee Shingo Takagi match that they've had. And where it also will get its own focus. It won't be kind of starred with the co-main event that Bandito and Will Ospreay had where they fucking killed it. But, as far as the finish, the match, it's going to go probably 30. I'm assuming 30, maybe 28, maybe 27. But usually it goes 30 plus, these finals. And it's going to be jam-packed. That sumo all crowd's going to be fucking ecstatic for it. Shingo Takagi is going to end this run, end it with perfection, not going to be beaten. I'll take on Dragon Lee, and I'll lose to Dragon Lee in the rematch. IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. But it should be fun, though. It's going to be a fun-ass match. And also that match as well. That title match is going to be incredible. But I cannot wait for this show. And I will catch you guys for my review of said show. Take care.